Hey everyone, I hope you are having a wonderful time. Today I'm going to share my experience of using this Schiit Audio AGR Class A continuity mono blocks. I've been using it in my system for quite a long time. They are very well broken in. I started off in my streaming setup, pairing with a few different decks, using as a pre-deck, streaming music and streaming movies. It sounded very nice and natural sounding, pairing with CSS Audio 2 TTX towers and KLH Model 3 speakers. Pairing with those two speakers doesn't really show the real quality or sound signature of AGR's mono block. The lower sensitivity nature of those two speakers and lower power outputs of these AGR mono blocks, because they are only rated for 20 watts at 8 ohm load and 40 watts at 4 ohm load, driving stereo mode. But if you change it to mono mode, it can put out dynamic power of 80 watts. But according to some measurement, they are close to realistically probably like around 40 watts RMS kind of power output, up to 10 watts Class A. After that, keep on going Class A like sound signature, even passing the Class A 10 watts power output. So probably that's why they call it continuity Class A amplifier design. So which is very neat feature, and Schiit Audio proprietary circuitry and everything combined. Pricing and build quality is just about right. Solidly built chassis with aluminum heat sinks and top lids, and totally like the design and fit and finish, exception of that tiny rubber feet underneath it. So that's why I replaced with my own isolation footers underneath these amps. Based on my testing, right, they don't really have problem with driving 4 ohm loads. Okay, because I try a few different speakers, and when I moved it here, I started using with this JBL L100 Classic 75th, which is 4 ohm or 90 dB sensitive, using my Ocuface E4000 as a pre-stage. So what I like about it is engaging sound, the musicality and naturality with accurate tone and balanced sound with nice and warmish tone and balance, like you will hear it from like Trio amps kind of sound signature to it. It has decent and good amount of current delivery to give you proper bass quality. The bass notes are well refined and balanced sound with nice separation and richness to it. That is one of my favorite thing. Nice and rich and slightly deeper side of warmish bass quality with a very engaging notes. It may not be fast or tight bass quality like Class AB or Class D kind of bass sound, but this one is trio like a bass quality to it with engaging musical notes. That is the most important thing. I was totally impressed with the way that it can deliver the bass notes and quality of the bass. Mid-range and highs and everything is nicely balanced with warmish side of sound signature. So mid-range is probably major selling point and highlight of these AGR amps, because mid-range is so good that probably mid-range to die for, right? Human voices and vocals and cello and drum notes, so realistic and so musical. I couldn't stop listening to it, because last night I was warming up, listening again for this review. Then I end up, because I started my midnight session around 12 o'clock, and I was only intended to do like 1 hour or so, but I end up listening for 4 hours. So a little sleepy today. Try passive preamplifier, which is very affordable, knob sound MP05P. So I tried that, totally deliver the sound as I mentioned before. And I try Eversolo DMP A8 as a DAC and pre combination and streaming music and all that. Everything worked great and sound great. So out of those pairing, personally, I like Eva Solo DMB A8 pairing the best because it's the quietest pairing, because I think probably the input output impedance is well matched. That's what it is. And when I pair with Accuphase E4000 as a preamplifier, I was using Musician Audio Pegasus 2 R2 DAC and streaming music online with my Sony Music Server or playing from Sony Music Server. And I was like, man, this is so engaging to listen. This is so enjoyable. I want to find out how loud it can go pairing with this JBL, right? It's 4-ohm speaker, 90 dB sensitive, and I took it up to like close to 100 dB range. So you will have the little screen here. So that is the level that I went, and I don't have any problem amplifier shutting down or anything like that, although it get a bit warmer and warmer and almost to pretty warm, I would say. Not as warm as my previous Denon Class A bias PMA S611. So right now it's only connected with Eva Solo DMB A8, and that's what you will hear in sound sample. Because the usability and features and everything, I don't even touch the PEQ or anything inside Eva Solo. Everything playing with pure direct UPnP streaming from my music server or online streaming. I enjoy pretty much every music that I listen to, exception of some of the modern pops and those kind of tracks, right? So some of the tracks such as Ed Sheeran, a Dive, or those kind of tracks have a very tight bass and drum notes. Those are slightly softer and not as used to as I had with other amps or other pairing. Other than that, the rest is totally fine. If you love jazz or acoustics or vocals or everything, this one will do fine. So I try loudness and it totally fine with my 4-ohm speaker, and switch it over to this S1EX Towers and even more refined sound and more depth that it can produce. The bass went so nice and deep. Even when I'm pushing bass heavy tracks or complex music, I don't encounter any issue with amplifier itself. Sound quality is pretty impressive. Please keep in mind that loudness level, that loud level that I went with is about like 18 minutes continuous. I've been cranking up and listening, so as you will see it here. So it should work really great with modern speakers and a lot of music, especially if you're a big fan of jazz or acoustics or vocals. It will work very, very good. Even if you're a heavy metal hard rock guy, if you're not planning to push past 100 dB range, it should be fine. As long as your speakers are above 88 dB sensitive, everything that I try, it doesn't clip or shut down or anything like that. As soon as I reach to like 98, 100 dB range, it stops getting louder. Well, it will get louder, but it will take a lot turning of the knob. So that's what it is. But I didn't take it to the limit because I don't want to destroy my ears. So price and sound quality is very, very good. Overall performance of the amplifier, I have no complaint at all. Functionality is very simple, totally enjoyable sound that it will deliver. System pairing and matching will be very important thing right here, because when I try with SMS and SUX DAC, driving these two amps as the pre-DAC, it still give me AGR sound signature. What is add to is a little bit more resolution to it, just more benefit and more enhancement to it. When I switch it over to JC Acoustic UDP5, JC Acoustic will have slightly more forward mid-range, so that kind of sound signature differences. When I switch them over to this main system, pairing with this Musician Audio Pegasus 2 R2 DAC and my Accuphase E4000 pre-stage, it works really, really good, exception or a little bit of idle hiss that I could hear when I'm closer to the speakers. Other than that, no issues at all. So I totally like the way that they sound with Eversolo DMP A8, or even trying with passive volume control, because it will totally show the true color of any amplifier that passive amp will do. Accuphase E4000 pre-stage pairing with these AGS mono block will brings out more resolution than other pairing. So those are the differences. But the Eversolo DMP A8 pairing with Eversolo built-in R2R balance preamplifier stage and R2R DAC combination bring the best bass quality out of these AGR amps. So in my experience, this is the one of the most musical amplifier in affordable price range. All you have to do is match them properly. Give it 90 dB sensitive speaker. Doesn't matter what impedance is. Most of the time with any kind of music, if you can do more sensitive, the better it will get in terms of speaker pairing. Out of these two pairing in this main system, I like them with both of the speakers. Quality of the mid-range is true highlight of these AGR amps. That's what pure Class A or Class A buyers or those kind of amplifier will do. This Schiit Audio proprietary Class A continuity design is probably one of the best things that they have ever done in amplifier offering. Sound is so lovely and enjoyable. It's nothing but all music, right? Good pronounced stereo image, but not as precise as I used to with my main amplifier, but nothing major, right? So voices and vocals as good as it can get, whether you listen to Diana Krall or Melody Gardot or Dua Lipa, or doesn't matter. Anything that you throw at them, it will give you absolute pleasure of enjoying your music. Mid-range and everything is probably one of the best that money can buy. But for the highs, kind of want a little bit more air and space between the notes and a little bit more extension. But saying that, this room is almost fully treated, ceiling and everything. So in a regular room, it should be totally fine, because I have diffuser and absorber on the ceiling, as well as thick carpeting and side treatments and everything, and big sectional on that side and everything in this room. So that may be cause of it, because if I use them in untreated room, it may be different outcome for the highs. So I mean, overall price, performance, and sound quality that you are getting, $700. The last call is worth getting it. If you have very high sensitive speaker, you can get away with one of it. So that's it, my friend. Highly recommended and wholeheartedly recommended. Thank you for watching and happy listening.
Next one is, it's called Kiss of Life. And let's hear some bass.
Something heavenly led me to you.
right, on the bass, Mr. Torigoye Keisuke-san. On the guitar, Orima Yosuke-san.